What's up, guys? Played Grixis at my local game day. Got second. Um, I read my meta wrong, but Grixis is pretty strong, pretty good deck. That said, gonna go back to playing some stuff that's a little fun. And for the longest time, I played blue, black, green, Heartless summoning. Um, and the other night, I was just thinking, mulling on my loss at game day, and thinking, man, I wish I could play a deck that had Blood Baron and Sire of Insanity in the same deck in the main board that worked. And yeah, I figured, I don't know, I'll try Heartless Summoning, right? And I put together this list last night. I like the draws that I was getting, goldfishing the deck. I don't know if it's good. Um, I think it is, though. I think it's pretty powerful. Pulling out a Sire of Insanity turn 4. Typical line of play is like turn 1, tap land or Faithless Looting or something. Dumping some big dude, dumping an Umbriel Rites, filtering your draw. Turn 2, Heartless Summoning. Hopefully, and if not, then, something else, Mizia Mortar, some type of removal. Turn 3, Desecration Demon with Heartless Summoning. Turn 4, Sire of Insanity, and that is pretty much a good game. So, it's actually working pretty well. I'm going to go through the cards a little bit. We have 25 lands here. There's only 3 white cards in the, well, 5 white cards if we consider Obsidian, which is in the sideboard for control. But yeah, only very few white cards in the deck. But we've splashed a lot of white in the deck to ensure that we're able to play that on turn 4. The mana base, we got 4 Dragon Skull Summits, 4 Blood Crypts. Those are the most important. You always need black. You kind of always need red. 4 Sacred Foundry, 3 Mountains, 2 Swamps, 2 Clifftop Retreats, 2 Chapels, 2 Gala Shrines, and 2 Cavern of Souls on the main board. Control, not very prevalent in my meta, but I mean it does exist, and this deck really needs to hit its creature drops and affect the board state immediately. For turn 1 plays, we only have Faithless Looting. I had Pillar of Flame in here too, but I just didn't like it. I'd rather play a tapped land than Faithless, and I'd rather go with a turn 2 Searing Spear. We have 4 Faithless. At this 2 mana, we got 4 Heartless Summonings, of course. And this card is amazing. This really allows you to do just so much stuff. We have 3 Mizia Mortars. Early, if you don't have the Heartless or the Faithless or whatever, you need to buy time against aggro. This is a great card. And it's much better later in the game when you've landed a Sire of Insanity and you're kind of in top deck mode with 6 lands. It's much better. We have 1 Wild Guess, and I just like it as an additional draw for us because we have Umbriel Rites and because we want to flashback stuff, and because we just want to dig and find the correct answer. Because we're trying to combo, I mean, we're basically, we want to land Heartless Summoning. That's our goal. Either that or get a big creature off fast or reanimate something. So in this sense, I think the draw is good. And remember, it's not card advantage because we're not getting. I mean, the Wild Guess is us being neutral, and Faithless Looting is us being negative in card advantage. But still, we don't really care because we're kind of gonna hedge our losses because the card we discard, we're hoping that we can recur back later, or that we're just gonna get into a piece that's gonna give us more value, or like for let's just continue with the 2 drops. Like here's we got 4 Searing Spirit. I just needed something in there. Could have been a creature. Could have been a 2 mana creature, but in the chance that we have Heartless out, there aren't a lot of 2 mana creatures that are very effective. Gloom Surgeon was something I was thinking about, but I mean it just was dead with Heartless. 4 Heartless Summoning, like I was saying, this is killer spell. Makes stuff cost 2 less. At the negative effect at the con of being going down -1/-1. Our creatures are pretty beefy for the most part. The sucky thing about Heartless Summoning is when you get it in multiples, the card is useless. You know what I mean? 2 Heartless Summonings, unless you were playing some kind of artifact thing that was crazy, back in the day when Heartless first came out. I mean, it's not really that useful. But that's where cards like Wild Guess and Faithless Looting come in, because hey, here's a useless card. It does nothing for you, so it generates I mean, you got the card, but generated no advantage. At this point, this is the stuff that you end up pitching later in the game to Faithless Looting or to Wild Guess, in order to give you to filter your draw into something that's more quality. So that's why I think Faithless and Wild Guess work really well in here. Um, at the 3-drop spot, we got Vampire Nighthawks. This could be Boros Reckoner, but I'm unsure about how effective this deck is against aggressive lists. So I kind of like the Nighthawk in there. It could be Reckoner. I'm still wavering on which one it should be. We have 4 Desecration Demons. This card gets a lot of flack, but I'm telling you, if you drop this on the turn 3, decks are afraid of it. This sees a lot of play in the green-black mutilate, like kind of mono-black decks now, because it's a powerful threat. A 6/6 for us, a 3 for a 5/5, whatever. It's very, very strong. And either your opponent has to sack creatures, which for you is great, or they have to worry about a huge blocker or huge wall, or they have to worry about damage, which is a big deal. We have 1 Disciple Bolus, and this is great. With Heartless, he's dead, you know what I mean? But he still is going to gain you life and draw you cards. And that works out pretty well. This could be changed. 4-drop spot, another possible option is Alms Beast. And Alms Beast is usually a card that's, it really doesn't do. I mean, look at it, it's just a vanilla 6/6 for 4. It's not that crazy. But, when we're talking about games where you're dropping him, Alms Beast, and then you're following up with Sire of Insanity on the turn 4, a 5/5 creature and a 5/3 creature with no cards in hand, that's a relevant board state. So it's possible it could be Alms Beast, could be too cute. We have 3 Blood Baron here. Blood Baron is not necessarily the best thing on the curve. Also, it forces me to splash white. But remember, white is good. It gives you access to Orzhov Charm, Boros Charm, O-Rings, the 1 card that destroys enchantments or artifacts. So I mean, it does have relevance. And for me, this is my pet card. I really like Blood Baron. Protection from white and black actually makes it pretty strong against a lot of control decks, unless they're running, like Far and Away or something, or Toil and Trouble. Those are cards that really fuck this card up. So I could see possibly, not playing him. I think the lifelink is very important. Being pro-white, pro-black is very important. And I just like him. He's just pepper card. Probably does not fit. Could be Exava. Exava is actually pretty decent, but I mean, I don't even know if I would. It could be any number of things. This spot is debatable, but so far I like the way he's working. 4 Sire of Insanity. This is the card you want to hit on turn 4, or as soon as possible. And then 1 Grizzlebrand to round out the main board. So the problem with these creatures, though, and I think it is relevant, is that a Blood Baron, normally to deal with this guy, you need Mizzium Mortars, you need Turn and Burn. You need multiple things of relevance that can't hit him at instant speed. But because we play around with Heartless, if we get a Heartless and this guy out, and we're playing against, some red, Searing Spear becomes an option. And then the same thing goes for Sire of Insanity. They become much more vulnerable. And then lines of play that typically weren't available to players playing red end up being opportunities for them. So that is something you have to play around with, but I think it works out pretty well. For the sideboard, we're just messing around with things. We got 2 Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle is there for Planeswalkers, and they are also there for Aetherling, which this deck has no answer for. Aetherling wins games. Great card. I wish I was playing anything. We have two opposite Ghost Council is for control. It's just another threat. Uh, very, very resilient. One Vampire Nighthawk for aggressive decks. Against aggressive decks, very like things that swarm the board, you might want to side out Sire of Insanities and maybe Grizzlebrands. Um, just because I think they're just too fast. They generate board presence bigger than you or faster than you can. Unsure, but how to side against that. But yeah, Vampire Nighthawk, that's an option. One Crypt Incursion for also for aggressive decks and also for Reanimator. Two Rakdos Charm. Use this for multiple fronts. If you expect Witchbane Orb, if you expect the hell, what else? Reanimator. This is a very versatile card. I like. Two Rolling Temblers for aggro. Two Duress for control to ensure that you land threats. You also have Cavern, right? And three Appetite for Brains, also for getting rid of those Supreme Verdicts or Terminuses in hand or Thunder Maws or John, whatever. Some decks just play bigger than you, and this is important. So that's the deck in general. Is it good? I don't know. But I really like what it has going for it, and we are gonna try our best. Oh, tournament. Okay. Let's fucking play Edge Heartless. Alright. Maybe this guy means he's in a tournament. Okay, it's annoying me. Can't wait for people, man. You gotta play Magic. Oh, 19, I like that. Okay, Alright, here we go. Heartless, that's a good hand. We're gonna keep. That's a solid hand. It's a very solid hand. So we could almost not ask for a better hand. So I like what we got. Alright, so some aggressive kind of. Alright, so Varolz, that's what we're challenging. That's fine. We are going to get a. Oh no, oh, well. We might. I'm thinking we might get a Sire before he gets anything too cray-cray. Varolz, I actually like this deck. That would be pretty cool to build. It's just kind of slow. Doesn't really. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4. We take that damage, dude. We take that damage all day. So. I mean, we could have answered his throw. Oh, see, now this is huge board presence, okay? So here's this guy. This is a 3/3. Now he's susceptible to a Searing Spear. But that is fine. This is a good game, bro. I think. Let's see, does he take the 2? Yeah, okay. So Varolz. We like that Varolz. Let's see it. Tap out for that Varolz. Oh, no. Lotless? No, Varolz. Oh, Dragmangler, okay. Alright, you lose, man. Unfortunately. Alright, so we swing for 3. Gain that 3 life. Second main. I'm gonna lose 2 life. I'm gonna drop Sire. End. And it's time for game 3. Oh shit. Yo! Yep. Few lines of play. Oh, wow, this is a 5-3, so. Not as strong as that, I think. And remember, we have an Umbriel, so we can just like really just, you know, say, hey, you know, you need board presence, but no. Okay, there's Blood Scrivener, that's cool. That is a cool card. Alright, well, we're comfortable with him losing life. Two cards, so he needs the answer. So that was a pretty godlike hand. Spike Jester, cool, cool. Alright, so that was GG, man. It's pretty much nothing he could do about it. So, man, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty solid. Very surprised. That was cool, right?